So, where are the tallest trees on the park? They're probably these lime trees in Lime Walk. But just how tall are they, and how can we find that out? So, if we're looking to find the tallest tree in the park, then one of the methods we can use is to measure the angle of the tree and then do a simple mathematical calculation to give us a quite accurate result. Now, what are we going to need? We're going to need to build a thing called a clinometer, and that will use an ordinary protractor like that. We use a drinking straw. I've chosen a blue one. We'll need to cut a piece of paper as a backing for the protractor, piece of thread, a push pin. I've chosen a nice red one, a medium-sized nut, and to make the whole thing nice and stable, I've cut from a piece of scrap plywood a shape like this. Now, what are we going to have to do to put it all together? Okay, then the first thing to do is to fit the piece of white paper in place as a backing. I've already made like a pilot hole. I'm going to do that so I can get this as accurate as possible. Just a couple of little blobs of hot melt glue just to hold the paper in place. Not too much. Get that nice and accurate and squarely in place. And it's a good idea to put that pin in first of all, because that gives you a nice central place to work to. Now, over the top of that will go the protractor, and I can see the nice hole centrally here to work to. Very important that you get this as accurate as possible. So now what we do, put some hot melt, just a little, not too much again, hot melt glue gun on here. Now we can fix our protractor in place accurately as possible. And because I marked the hole centrally, the push pin will now push, and because I've used thin plywood, it'll push into the plywood and be nice and firmly held. Right, so far so good. Next thing is we've got to fix the drinking straw. I've chosen this nice blue one, and that drinking straw is going to be what we actually take a sight line along, so that has got to be fitted along the top of the clinometer. Right, here we go. Hot melt glue, there, 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 and there. And that is now going to give us our means of sighting at the top of the tree. You can always add a bit more glue to stabilise it if you want to. Okay, so that's got the protractor in place, the sighting in place, and the next thing to do will be to sort out the indicator for the angle. Now what I've done with this is to make a loop in this line that I've got, and I've done it with the hot melt glue gun because I don't want anything to interfere with the swinging of the string. So this can now pin through there and it will be nice and freely swinging. I've found that if I start to do knots, then that can interfere with the movement. And the final thing to do will be to add our little weight, and that is going to be that which will help to pull the string down to make the angle. So here we are, here's our finished gun clinometer. When we move it like that, and then it's going to enable us to measure the angle, or if we go like that, the angle there. So we're likely to use that angle there, I suspect. So when we should be looking through here, and then when we've got the angle, just lean it over, and that will enable us to give the degree measurement. Right, the thing to do now is to take this out on the park and give it a try. The first thing to do will be to measure out 30 metres from the base of the chosen tree to where you're going to be standing. 30 metres is a reasonable distance because it means that you are not looking up at too steep an angle to the top of the tree. Next we take a sight through the drinking straw to the highest point on the tree and measure the angle of the string. The distance from the tree to me or to you will be 30 metres. The angle from your eye to the top of the tree is 45 degrees. We now need to find the tangent of that angle using an internet conversion chart. This will tell us that a 45 degree angle has a tangent equal to 1. Multiply 1 by 30 and then add on your own height to your eye level. The height of the tree on the left is 30 times 1 equals 30 plus 1.6, which is your height, equals 31.6 metres or 103.6 feet. And the one on the right is 30 times 1.19 equals 35.57 plus 1.6 equals 37.3 metres. So you've made your clinometer, you know how to do the calculations, so go and see if you can find some other tall trees on the park.